I'm right at the end of Acts chapter 25, right when Paul was standing before Festus and Agrippa, and the Jews had brought charges against him, and yet they found nothing. It's like, why is the Jews were like, he ought not to live, and they were like, we don't know why you're saying this. 25 and 25 says, but I found that he had committed nothing worthy of death. And since he himself appealed to the emperor, I decided to send him. Yet I have nothing definitive about him to write to my lord. Therefore, I have brought him before you and all, especially before you, King Agrippa, so that after the investigation has taken place, I may have something to write. For it seems absurd to me in sending a prisoner not to indicate also the charges against him. So they were like, this is ridiculous. Why am I sending? And Agrippa said to Paul, you are permitted to speak for yourself. Then Paul stretched out his hand and proceeded to make his defense. In regard to all the things which I am accused of by the Jews, I consider myself fortunate, King Agrippa, that I am about to make my defense before you today, especially because you are an expert in all customs and questions among the Jews. Therefore, I beg you to listen to me patiently. So then all the Jews know my manner of life from youth to which from the beginning with was spent among my own nation at Jerusalem, since they have known about me for a long time previously, if they are willing to testify that I have lived as a Pharisee according to the strict sect of religion, and now I am standing trial for the hope of the promise made by God to our fathers, the promise to which 12 tribes hope to attain, as they, and this is where a lot of people just section off these 12 tribes, but it's for the Jews and Gentiles. Salvation's for the Jews and Gentiles, according to the word. As they earnestly serve God night and day, and for their hope, O King, I am being accused by Jews. Why is it considered incredible among you people if God has raised the dead? So that's the whole issue. Paul was like, yo, Jesus is alive. And they were like, we crucified him. The Jews were like, no, he's alive. He's alive and kicking. And they're like, this is absurd. You're going against all blah, 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 blah. And then boom, they put him on the boat. It was like, we're going to do away with you. However, Paul, being a very smart person, was like, yo, you guys tied me up, you beat me up, but you did this to a Roman citizen. And they were like, oh, heck no. He's a Roman. And once they found out that he was a Roman citizen, they were like, we just can't beat him up and throw him away. We can't do this because Rome protects their citizens, so we have to have a reason to do this. And now you have to go through all the courts. So Paul is very smart in saying, I appeal to the courts. And then he was like, I appeal to Caesar. So that's what this is all about. And this is before he goes to Caesar. He's going through the ranks. He went through Festus. Now he's going through Agrippa, the king. And Agrippa is very smart in all the laws because he deals with this every day. He's King Agrippa. He deals with this every day. So you got to understand who's on whose side here. He's like, I'm a Roman, so the Romans, a Roman citizen is protected. So you just can't do what you want with a Roman citizen. So once they heard he was a Roman citizen, that automatically slowed their hand. If the Jews killed a Roman citizen without cause, then there's going to be consequences. So that's what they were like, oh, heck no. Then they planned to, while the Roman captain said, okay, we're going to just have you in captivity, but you'll still be able to see all your friends and you'll be able to walk around, but we're going to protect you because we're going to send you on a boat. And when the Jews heard that, they were like, tell the guard that, it's okay to bring him out, blah, blah, blah. And 40 of us are going to overpower the guards and we're going to, do away with Paul. Well, one of Paul's friend's sons heard that and went to the captain and was just like, yo, they're about to jump you. It's about to be on. If you come out, they're going to act like everything's fine. They're going to jump you just to get to him. So they were like, okay, this is crazy because if you attack me, I'm a Roman centurion. It's going to be up for you. So what he did was he was like, go get 200 men and horses and bring them down here. So he got 200 men and horses, bring them down here. And then it was like, yeah, let them try it now, pretty much. And then they put Paul on a boat. And boom, this is where he's at now. He's speaking to Festus and King Agrippa. After much pomp and circumstance, King Agrippa and his wife. So why is it considered incredible among you people if God does raise the dead? This is Paul talking. He's talking to King Agrippa, but he's also talking to the Jews that are there. Don't forget the Jews in Jerusalem want him gone, and the other Jews where he came from want him gone. Because he said that Jesus is alive. He was like, this man rose from the dead. And you guys need to understand this is for your salvation. So they're just like, we don't want to hear that, So the Sadducees was like, no, we don't want to hear that because this is not what they believe. This is not in their custom. And anytime you go against their custom, you're going to have problems. You got to understand, they still believe that, they still give homage to Artemis. They had a temple raised of Artemis, the female warrior. They had a temple raised of Artemis and blah, 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 blah. So Paul has to tread lightly when he's talking to them because he knows that their customs, because he's one of them, but he's also a Roman. So then I thought to myself, I had to do many things hostile to the name of Jesus of Nazareth. And this is just what I did in Jerusalem. Not only did I lock up many of the saints in prisons, having received authority from the chief priest, he's talking about a Jew, the chief priest, but also when they were being put to death, I cast my vote against him. So he was putting people to death. Paul was known as a not a very good person. And they all knew if Paul came around, somebody was getting ready to get in trouble. And he ran with a pack of dudes who was just like him. They were all armed and ready to get it in at any time. And as I promised them often in all the synagogues, I tried to force them to blaspheme against the name of Jesus, to say, Jesus, blah, blah, blah. They tried to get him to blaspheme. And they wouldn't do it, so he would beat them up and then have them put to a sword. And being furious, enraged at them, I kept pursuing them even to the foreign cities, or even to foreign cities. While thus engaged, as I was journeying to Damascus with the authority and commission of the chief priests, at midday, O king, I saw on the way a light from heaven brighter than the sun shining all around me and those who were journeying with me. So the light came down, who was Jesus, and it shined around him and everybody was with him. And they all also heard the voice. So Paul wasn't the only one that seen this light. Paul wasn't the only one that heard this voice. And like I said, he wasn't traveling alone. And when we had all fallen, see, all of them fell down. We had all fallen. I heard a voice saying to me in a Hebrew dialect, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? It is hard for you to kick against the goads. And I said, who art thou, Lord? And the Lord said, I am Jesus who you are persecuting, but arise and stand on your feet, for the purpose I have appeared to you, to appoint you a minister and a witness, not only to the things which you have seen, but also to the things in which will appear to you, delivering from the Jewish people and from Gentiles. From the Jewish people to whom I am sending you, to open their eyes so that they may turn from darkness to light and from dominion of Satan to God, in order that they may receive forgiveness of sins and inheritance among those who have been sanctified by the faith in me. That's all in red letters, so that was Jesus talking to him. Consequently, King Agrippa, I did not prove disobedient to the heavenly vision, but kept declaring both to those of Damascus first, and also of Jerusalem, and then throughout all the regions of Judah, and even the Gentiles. See, salvation is for the Jews and the Gentiles. That they should repent and turn to God, be performing deeds appropriate to repentance. Once again, he's talking to the King Agrippa, and he's talking to Festus too, because Festus is there, and he's talking to all the Jews that are there. Mind you, they want to do him in, and he's like, nah, not so quick. Everything that I did it to according to what God told me, and the story that I'm telling you is true. And not only did it happen to me, it happened to everyone that was there. But God didn't give them charge to go out and be a witness. God gave me, he put this thorn in my side to go out and do it. For this reason, some Jews seized me in the temple and tried to put me to death, because he was talking about Jesus. And so, having obtained help from God, I stand this day testifying both to small and great, stating nothing but what the prophet of Moses said was going to take place. Now, at the bottom of this, it reads for another scripture, which is Luke 16 and 28. Let me see if I can find Luke 16, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Luke 16 and 28. Because the whole Bible is linked together. So let me go to Luke 16, 28. Luke 16. Let's see how this is linked. And 28. It was the same as it happened in the days of Lot. Right? They were eating and drinking, and they were drinking, and they were buying, they were selling, they were planting, they were building. Hold on, let me make sure I read this right. 16 and 28. Moses said was going to take place. Okay, well, that's what that reads. I don't know why 16 and 28 is in the same way it happened in the days of Lot. They were eating, they were drinking, they were buying, they were selling, they were planting, they were building. But on the day that Lot went out from Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. I don't know what this has to do with this, but okay. That Christ has suffered, and that by reason of his resurrection from the dead, he should be the first to proclaim light both to the Jewish people and to the Gentiles. So don't listen to people who say salvation is just for one people. It's just not true. And it's right here in Acts 26 and 23. It says it's for salvations for the Jews and the Gentiles. All right. And while Paul was saying this, in his defense, Festus said in a loud voice, Paul, you are out of your mind. Your great learning has driven you mad. Festus. But Paul said, Am I not out of my mind, most excellent Festus? But I utter words of sober truth. For the king knows about these matters, and I speak to him also with confidence, since I am persuaded that none of these things escape his notice. Yes, Festus knew. For this has not been done in a corner. King Agrippa, do you believe the prophets? I know that you do. And Agrippa replied to Paul, in a short time, you will persuade me to become a Christian. He said that in jest, but he was correct. And Paul said, I would to God that whether in a short or long time, not only you, but also all who hear me this day might become such as I am, except for these chains. Don't forget, he's still chained up. They won't let him go. And the king arose, and the governor and Bernice and those who were sitting there, it's just like when a judge stands up, all rise. And when they had drawn aside, they began talking to one another, saying, this man is not doing anything worth death or imprisonment. It sounds familiar, does it? Same thing that happened to Jesus. They were like, why do you want to crucify Jesus? And they were just like, get rid of him, get rid of him. So this is something that the Jews would do to people. You know, they just didn't like the fact that you believed in something else. They were like, get rid of you. And then they would, do whatever with you. And Agrippa said, and Agrippa said to Festus, this man might have been set free if he had not appealed to Caesar. So when you appeal to Caesar, you need to make that trip to Rome. And Festus was like, I would have let you go, but you said you want to appeal to Caesar, so we got to hold you captive. It's just like when you're dealing with the police today, and the police are going to write you a ticket, and you start running off at the mouth, blah, 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 blah. I want to see a supervisor. The police was probably going to give you a ticket or a written warning, but as soon as you say, I want to see a supervisor, that prolongs the stop. So they have to wait till the supervisor gets there. Other than that, the police have 15 minutes to give you that ticket and get out. As soon as you say you want a supervisor, you have now prolonged your own stop. And when it was decided that we should sail for Italy, they proceeded to deliver Paul and some other prisoners to a centurion of the Augustan cohort named Julius. And embarking in, I'm sorry, my Bible's ripped. Embarking in an Andromedan ship, which was about to sail to the region along the coast of Asia, we put out to sea, accompanied by Aristarchus and Aristarchus, a Macedonian Thessalonica. His name was Aristarchus, a Macedonian of Thessalonica. So yeah, he was basically a Thessalonian. And the day we put in Sidon, and Julius treated Paul with consideration and let me read that again. And that next day we put in at Sidon. So we put in at Sidon we came to Sodom. And Julius treated Paul with consideration and allowed him to go to his friends and receive care. So when they got to port, he was like, "Go see your friends." And so they left the boat, went to see his friend, even though he's still a prisoner. And from there, we put out to sea and sailed under the shelter of Cyprus because the winds were contrary. And when we had sailed through the sea along the coast of Sicilia and Paphlagonia, we landed in Marta in Lycia. And there the centurion found an Alexandrian ship sailing from Italy, and he put us aboard it. And when we had sailed slowly for a good many days with difficulty and arriving on, I don't know how to say this, Cnidus, since the winds did not permit us to go any further, we sailed under the shelter of Crete. Everybody heard of the island of Crete, of Salomon. And with the difficulty sailing past it, we came to a certain place called Fair Haven, near which was the city of Lasea. And with consideration, time had passed, and the voyage was now dangerous, since even the fast was already over. They were fasting and praying. Paul began to admonish them and said to them, "Men, I perceive that the voyage will certainly be attained with damage and great loss, not only of the cargo and the ship, but also of our lives." So they were sailing into the wind, and it was a lot of chop. Don't forget they're sailing along the coast. But the centurion was more persuaded by the pilot and the captain of the ship than what was being said by Paul, such as what centurions would do. He's like, "Don't worry about it. We'll just be fine. We got a great captain," and blah, blah, blah. That's what happened. And because the harbor was not suitable for wintering, the majority reached a decision to put out to sea from there. It is put out to sea from there. If somehow they could reach Phoenix, a harbor of Crete facing southwest and northwest, and spend the winter there. Yeah, so it was wintertime and they were docked, and it was not a good place to be. They weren't going to make it. They were going to freeze to death. And when a moderate south wind came up, suppose that they had gained their purpose, they weighed anchor and began sailing along Crete, also inshore. So they didn't go out to deep sea. They sailed along the coast like Eric the Red. But before very long, there rushed down from the land a violent wind called Iracula. I don't know how to. Uraquilo. I don't know what that. It's a strong wind. And when the ship was caught in it, it could not face the wind. We gave way to it and let ourselves be driven along. And running under the shelter of a small island called Claudia, we were scarcely able to get the ship's boat under control. So they were being blown all over the place, kind of like Jason and the Argonauts, how they were blown off course. And after they had hoisted it up, they used supporting cables and undergirding. And after they had hoisted it up, they used supporting cables in undergirding the ship, and fearing that they might run aground on the shallows of Syrtis, Tis. Sardis. Sardis, they let down the sea anchor and so let themselves be driven along. The next day, we were being violently storm tossed, and they began to jettison the cargo. They started throwing the cargo overboard. And on the third day, they threw the ship's tackle overboard, all the tools, with their own hands. Get rid of all these tools, lighten the boat. And since neither sun nor stars appeared for many days, wow, and no man, and no small storm was assailing us, from then on, all hope of being saved was greatly abandoned. Whew. And then they had gone a long time without food. Then Paul stood up in their midst and said, "Men, you ought to have followed my advice not to have set sail from Crete and incurred this damage and loss. And yet now I urge you to keep up your courage, for there shall be no loss of life among you, but only of the ship." They're saying the ship is going to go down, but you're going to be alive. Hey, what's going on, man? I'm just reading. He's getting some word in there. The book of Acts, reading about Paul. I've been reading the book of Acts for the last couple of weeks now. Trying to get a better understanding. You see all these names are messing with me. Just trying to get a better understanding. For this very night, an angel of God, to whom I belong and whom I serve, stood before me, saying, "Do not be afraid, Paul. You must stand before Caesar, and behold, God has granted you all those who you are sailing with." So that's just that. Absolutely. I'll take my Bible out now. Yeah. I'll read with you until you finish. Yeah. So I'm Acts chapter 27. I'm on verse 25. I don't read fast because I'm trying to read it, understand it, and tell you guys. I don't read fast at all anyways. So that's where I'm at. Acts 27, 25. That's where I'm at. Therefore, keep up your courage, men. For I believe God that it will turn out exactly as I have been told. Well, of course it will, because an angel came down and said, this was going to happen. And if an angel said it, well, that's exactly what's going to happen. No, nobody's going to stop that from happening. But we must run aground on a certain island. But when the 14th night had come, as we were being driven about in the Arctic Sea, dang, it was cold out there. About midnight, the sailors began to surmise that they were approaching some land. Ahoy there, there's land. And they took soundings and found it to be 20 fathoms, and a little further on, they took another sounding and found it to be 15 fathoms. Sounding, so they dropped something down to see if it was going to touch land. They throw it overboard, boom, see if it touches land. They measure where it's at, and they keep heading in that direction, because as it goes, it's going to get less and less and less and less. And this is how they keep from a ship running aground, and how they know that there's land out there somewhere. And fearing that we might run aground somewhere on the rocks, they cast 4 anchors from the stern and wish for daybreak. So it's the middle of the night and it's freezing cold, and this is what they're doing because they can't see. They're like, we know there's land out there somewhere, so let's throw a sounding over it. Boom. And they're like, oh, it's 15 fathoms. Pull it up. Then they went a little further. Boom. Oh, snap. It's 10 fathoms. Pull it up again. Drop anchor. So they dropped 4 anchors because they didn't want to run into the island. Mind you, they can't see. It's the middle of the night. And he said the sun and the moon hasn't shown its face. So they can't see where they're going. And as the sailors were trying to escape from the ship, and had let down the ship's boat into the sea on the pretense of intending to lay out anchors from the bow, Paul said to the centurion and the soldiers, unless these men remain in the ship, you and yourselves cannot be saved. What? Then the soldiers cut away the ropes of the ship's boat and let it fall away. And until the day was about dawn, Paul was encouraging them all to take some food, saying, today is the 14th day that you have been constantly watching and going without eating, having taken nothing. Therefore, I encourage you to take some food, for this is for your preservation, for not a hair from a head of any of you shall perish. So Paul was really looking out for them. He was like, eat your victuals, you know what I'm saying? Eat your food, because God promised me that none of you would die. He said, but in order to do that, you guys got to listen. You just can't be doing whatever you want. And having said this, he took bread and gave thanks to God in the presence of all, and he broke it and began to eat. And all of them were encouraged, and they themselves also took food, and all of us in the ship were 276 persons. Okay. And then they had eaten enough, and they began to listen to the ship by throwing out the wheat in the sea. And when the day came, they could not recognize the land, but they did not observe any certain day with a beach, and they resolved to drive the ship into it if they could. And casting off the anchor, they left them in the sea, while at the same time they were loosening the ropes and the rubbers and hoisting the foresail to the wind. They were heading for the beach, but striking a reef where 2 seers met. They ran the vessel aground, and the prow struck fast and remained immovable, but the stern began to be broken up by the force of the waves. Oh, they were in trouble. And the soldiers' plan was to kill the prisoners, that none of them should swim away and escape. But the centurion wanted to bring Paul safely through, kept them from their intentions, and commanded that those who could swim should jump overboard first and get to land, and the rest should follow someone on planks and others other various things from the ship. And thus it happened that they all were brought safely to land. There that is. And I'm going to stop right there at 28, chapter 28, Acts chapter 28. So that's pretty cool reading right there. But yeah, they were all brought safely to land, just like God promised. He said, not a hair on your head will be lost. That's exactly what happened. Nobody lost their lives. Now, that whole thing was a miracle. The whole thing was a miracle because they didn't lose their lives to the storms. They didn't lose their life to the wind that came and swept. When they was on the coast, they didn't lose their lives to the wind, the storms that were throwing them back and forth. They didn't lose their lives to the ice because it was freezing cold. They didn't lose their lives to being in the middle of the night, not being able to see, and then throwing stuff overboard while they were being tossed over. They could have lost their lives in August. That's basically what all that was saying. Like, you were definitely protected by God. And Paul was just like, hey, just stand fast. You guys are going to be all right. But they didn't lose their lives. Even when the ship wrecked, and it was still being tossed, it couldn't go anywhere. Even then, you would think, people would have lost their lives. It was like, no. They didn't even lose their lives when they jumped overboard. It's like, jump overboard. For those of you who can't swim, just hang on to a plank. So even the people who could not swim, that was overboard, they grabbed onto planks of the ship, and they all made it in. So it was just a total miracle. And like he said, there was an angel that was watching over them. And that's why they didn't lose their life. Because that angel was like, all of you are going to live. Not even when the centurions, who were like, we can't have it that you guys escape. We can't have that because we didn't do our job. They'll hurt us. And then the other centurion was just like, the captain was just like, ease up on that. He was like, for those of you can swim, jump in and swim. Those of you can't, grab some wood, jump in, boom, make it to shore. No killing of the prisoners. You know what I'm saying? We ain't killing all that. Listen, if they would have killed Paul, none of those centurions would have lived any longer. None of them. They would have all been gone. They would have all been gone. None of those centurions would have made it. So the captain was very level-headed. Very level-headed. And they all survived. So it's an amazing story when you look at it in depth, and all that could have happened. Being on an open sea for 14 days and being blown to and fro, and then you can't see where you're going. That's some scary. Listen, the ocean is scary. The ocean is a scary, scary place. I mean, in the ship they was on, it started breaking apart and stuff like that. I mean, you're like, I know I'm about to die, but they were like, Paul was like, you're not about to die because God told me that everyone is going to live. Mind you, the people on the boat are his enemies. There's prisoners on the boat that he don't know. Then there's the people who are watching him, the guards. They're not his friends. But he's like, none of you are going to perish today. None of you are going to die. So just go ahead and chill out. You know what I'm saying? So after all the things that could have wiped them out, I bench pressed 225 twice today. I mean, it didn't kill them. So that was the Lord definitely watching over him and doing exactly what he said he was going to do. I said something about 225. I slipped that in there. I don't know. I don't know why I tossed that in there. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. So, I was curling 50s today. I don't know why. I just threw that out there. Why I threw that out there. I was curling 50s today. I don't know why. Day before yesterday, I was curling 60s. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know why I mentioned that. I don't know. It just came out of nowhere. But anyway, so yeah, the book of Acts, chapter 26, I think. And it's good reading. I'll get into the rest of it. And since you guys like, listening to that type of thing, we'll do some more. We'll do some more Book of Acts. Good story, especially Paul. He's interesting. Paul's a very interesting. To me, Paul was a Christ. Paul was a sacrifice for what his people did long ago, what the Benjamites did. From they're of the tribe of, they're one of the 12 tribes, and like I said before, they did some really heinous stuff. It's in the Bible, and a lot of them lost their lives for it. And Paul, I believe, was chosen to give atonement for what his people had done. And Paul wasn't just a thug. He was a learned man. He was a smart guy. God's love is revealed in the Bible, right? We are sinful, definitely. Sin has penalty, yes it does. Christ has paid the penalty, yes he did. Salvation is free, yes it is. Christ is your heart's door. You must receive it, right? You must ask God to walk in. And as soon as you do, the rest of the world is going to be opened up to you. You're going to actually see what you're living in. In some cases, you'll actually see. Some people can see spirits. But, yeah. So that's why I like Paul. Good. Paul. Make something new. Yeah, I like to read about Paul. Another reason why I like to read about Paul is because Paul, I like the fact that it shows the temperament of the Jews and how destructive they were and how destructive tradition is. I like and these were the 12 tribes, these were black people. I like to look at how their minds didn't want to open up to the fact that a man died for their sins and now he's alive. So I enjoy looking at the inner battle and the spiritual battle that was between them two. And that's between the Jews and the Romans are bystanders. The Romans don't know what's going on. The thing about the Romans is the Romans are like, just don't get out of hand. So every captain, everyone that the Romans, because when the Romans come and take over your land, they do like America does now. They'll put somebody in charge to make sure things don't, in an uproar. And if it does, then they'll send in, the U.S. Army, take some heads, and then everything goes back to normal. This is what you're seeing now in the war. So this is why you don't want to, piss off the. It's why you don't want to piss off the Romans, because the Romans will come see you. Oh, you like that beat? Cool. Yeah, the Romans will come see you. The whole, what up? Yeah, the whole Roman army will get, you don't want that. Because the Romans had various ways of deleting you. And whoever started the brouhaha. This is why there's so many people you need to see before you can do anything to a Roman. But once that person is found guilty, then it's Like it's up for you. There's no way you're getting out of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Paul is taking a chance, but here's the thing about Paul. Paul had told his friends, and I think Acts 24, I know it's in the book Acts. He told him, he said, listen, it's up for me. Even one of his friends prophesied to him and tied a belt around him and said, this is what's about to happen to you if you go to Rome. And Paul said, I will gladly go to Rome. And his friends were like, no. And they were kissing him and please don't go, because they loved Paul. Because they didn't know about Jesus until Paul. And these are hard men. These are not some, sideline. These are guys who are in the game. These are guys who are beating people up and, doing. And they were all like, no, they were crying because they didn't want to lose Paul. But he was like, I have to go. He's like, I'll be glad to go. So Paul already knew this was the end of his life, is what I'm saying. But he was like, for Christ, I'll do it. I know it's the end for me. I'm going. And they couldn't stop him. Couldn't stop him. And just Paul himself, when you start looking at the Pharisees and Sadducees, Paul was a Pharisee. The Sadducees are the ones who wanted to get rid of him. And when you start looking at who's Pharisees and where they come from and what part of the 12 tribes they come from, you see the tragic story of Paul's people. It's just like this thing started a long time ago. The stuff he's going through now started a long time ago. And it's just so interesting. I did I was taking a walk last year, and I did, I was reading about Paul and the Pharisees. And just, I did a live about it. But I'm fascinated by Paul. And Paul's another thing is Paul is so animate. What book of the Bible resonates? The book of Acts. The book of Acts resonates most with me because I actually see it in my head. I understand it. Like I could see us going through that now. I could see people going from town to town saying Jesus is alive and then getting their ass whooped because of it. But like Agrippa said, you're about to convince me to become a Christian. The Bible says that, I think it's in Job or something like that. It's in Proverbs or something like that. The Bible says that, you'll be taken before great men. That's exactly what happened to Paul. That was written long before Paul. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the word says, your gift will make room for you and will put you in front of great men. And that's exactly what it did. It's exactly what the word did. Paul's gift made room for him, which is, you see how it's making room all the way across the sea. An angel is coming down and God is talking to him and people are prophesying and telling him what's going to happen. His gift made room for him. You got a king thinking about becoming a Christian. Do you know how big that is when Agrippa said that out of his mouth? You know how everybody looked at Agrippa when he said that? You understand, Agrippa and his wife, when they met Paul that day, it was like a big old ticker tape parade. It was like a big thing. It wasn't a parade, but it was a lot of pomp. There was a lot of priests there. There were a lot of people who loved to sit in high places. They were all there. Festus was no joke either. So you had a lot of big whoop-de-doos there. There was a lot of action going on. And this is the king, King Agrippa. And he was like, you're about to make me become a Christian. And it's just like, what? They all turned to look to him like, excuse you? Because if he said that, don't forget Paul said, I know that you, Agrippa, you know all the customs of the Jews. So for him to even say that out of his mouth is almost sacrilege. If you say you're about to make me become a Christian, you're saying you're about to make me betray every God that I've ever known and turn my attention and my faith and devotion to the one God. You're about to make me believe that a man died and rose in 3 days, and that man was God. This is what you're about to make me believe. You're about to make me believe that all of our temple gods that we have, none of that's true. This is what Agrippa said. He said, you're about to make me become a believer. That's what he was saying. All the things I've learned. I'm the king of all these people for a reason. You're about to make me throw all of it away, including my kingship. That is a heavy statement. Don't forget, Rome Rome lost its power for a few good reasons. From senseless wars, from being spread too thin, and from a lot of infighting, and from Christianity. See, people believed that the Roman emperor was a god. They believed he was the sun god. Yeah. That's who they believed he was. They believed the emperor was a sun god. If you said he wasn't, then that's off with your head. Well, when the emperors start doing just the craziest stuff, like burning down their own cities and, doing stuff to, the little ones, and then sleeping with horses, and then, when a centurion would get married, they would, tell the husband and the wife to, and hey, come and have this party with us, and all the centurions there, and then they would bend both of them over and take them. They were like, we had enough of this. We had enough of this. And then the Senate was always against the power of the Caesar, and they were like, we don't want any more Caesars and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a lot of infighting going on there. You know what I'm saying? So, but when the Christian faith came along, they were like, absolutely not. We are going to stick with what we have because it works. But you have people no longer believing that you're the sun god. You're not a god. You're just a person. When that starts happening, when people stop believing, that's a huge problem. And that's what happened. Exactly. The Bible is consistent. So many writers, and nothing in the Bible contradicts. No, it doesn't. I've seen the video on YouTube. Yeah, the Bible doesn't contradict itself at all. The Bible talks in spirit and in flesh, and you got to understand which one is which. If a man eyes offend him, have them cut them out. It's better that a man goes into heaven with no eyes than goes into hell with both of them. You don't go cut your eyes out. Cut it out means stop looking at whatever you're looking at that makes you sin. If a man's hands offend him, have him cut it off. It's better that you get in heaven with only one hand than in hell with two. It means stop doing whatever you're doing with your hands. That's what it means. It's spirit and, the flesh. It's very clear. Don't go cut your hands off, because you could still be living in sin with no hands. It means don't go around hitting people and doing whatever with your hands that you shouldn't be doing, and repent from that. That's what it means. It doesn't mean cut your eyes out, cut your hand off, and and all this other stuff people take literally. It's just like, when Jesus was trying to explain to people the living water, he was trying to explain the living water to the woman at the well. She was like, what is this? What's this water that you talking about? I got some problems. He was like, if you had some of my water, you would never thirst again. She was like, well, you're the one sitting up there asking me for water. Like, they had a whole argument. She's like, well, smarty pants, why are you asking me for water if you got the living water? But Jesus was, having a very intelligible conversation with the Samaritan woman who was an outcast. And the reason why she was an outcast is because she had 5 husbands. She had 5 husbands. And so they called her unclean. They thought she was a harlot, you know. But Jesus chose her because Jesus always chooses people that are brokenhearted and downtrodden. Why? Because those people, when they get filled with hope, they tell everybody what gave them hope. You know, the rich people, they're hard to give hope to. It's hard. It's hard to go up to somebody who's driving a Maserati and, Jesus loves you. It's just one time. Can I put it in a 401k? That's how they think. Everything is, but you go up to a homeless person and be like, Jesus loves you. And be like, thank you so much. I really needed that right now. Come here, give me a hug. And you hug. And you're like, whoa, what is this? Because they need it. This is why Jesus tells you to come to him like a child. Because a child needs you. When a child comes to you, that child needs something. You know what I'm saying? And this is why Jesus finds it. All through the Bible, when you look at what Jesus and who Jesus is talking to and who he hung around, even the 12 disciples, they were all people in need and rough and had a hard life. Being a fisherman was a hard, it still is a hard life. Being a fisherman is a hard life, but that's all that they did, these were hard life. Even Jesus' life was hard. The job that he chose, being a carpenter, you think that was an easy life? Absolutely not. Being a carpenter today is not easy. You know what I'm saying? Let alone back then. But that's what he was. And he hung around. That's why they were questioning him, the Sadducees. Why are you hanging around, tax collectors? People hated tax collectors. We don't like tax collectors. You know what I'm saying? Even today, it's just like, why are you hanging around tax collectors? And it was just like, simply, Jesus knows that these men are hardened men. They've been beat up. They done beat people up. They know how to throw hands. Peter cut a man's ear off with one swipe. None of the guys he hung around with are a bunch of puffs. None of them. Just imagine Jesus running around with a bunch of softies. Wasn't going to work. He was running around with a couple dudes that were about that business. They were all of Moses killed a man. I mean, they were all about these people that Jesus chose to go out and do the work, they're all a bunch of tough guys. But Jesus said, you are the light that's, what did he say? You are the word that's written on the hearts of men. See, when they see you, Paul, knowing they used to beat up and kill people, and they're just like, if this man can change, anyone can. That's the whole premise. If this dude can change, anyone can change. Because this guy was the worst of the worst. But you see what had to happen for him to change? And then you see how many people changed because they saw him change? You see all those people change because they saw Paul change. If it was somebody who was already in the church, it would have been like, so what? You've been doing that. But you take the most terrible, that's why Jesus, he hung around prostitutes. They stoned prostitutes back then. Mary was a prostitute. Not the Mary that Jesus came out of, but the other Mary. She was a prostitute. But yet she took that perfume, put it on his feet, and was just like, let me get the pinky toe. And she cried. She was wiping with her tears. She was crying. And he was looking at her like, that's what I'm after. The humility. She knew she wasn't about nothing. But she wasn't like, you have a lot of people who just like, I'm just going to keep sinning, keep doing what I'm doing. Well, God hates pride. He hates pride. But she knew what she was. She was just like, I know what I am. Let me get on and get these feet right here. Because, listen, I know what I've been doing. I've been out there hunching. You know what I'm saying? Everything that moves, as long as I can make $1. She's like, I don't want to live that way no more. I want to, you know what I'm saying? God is close to it. Yes, he is. God don't play about, he don't play about the lowly, the meek of heart, the children. He don't play, man. He's just like, let me ease on. Let me get on in here somewhere. Yeah, let me get in here somewhere. And yeah, and if you open your heart to him, you know, you're gonna be it's just gonna be interesting for you. You know, you're like, all right, Lord, what do you got? What you got on my 40? You know, it's a lot of people that come to God. It's like on their deathbed or something. Lord, if you just get me out of this one, then they get out of it, then they go back to what they were doing. I'm gonna keep drinking and smoking and smoking and drinking, and they go right back to what they're doing. And then they die for real. It's like this is not what you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Jesus knows. Jesus be knowing, man. Jesus be knowing. Like, Lord, I done fooled around and looked at Miss Hattie. Miss Hattie was standing outside in a robe, and I'm sorry. Miss Hattie look good though. You the one that made her. When you mad at me for it? And just think. Just think. Black women are so fine that the angels looked upon them and was like, I gotta have one of those. I'm no competition for a fine black woman. I just walk away because I know me, and I'm almost 60. Don't put no 22, 23 talking about some, hey, mister, nah, come on now. No, don't put no 35-year-old firm in foot. Because I know I'm not right. You know what I'm saying? I'll be paying for dinners and I don't want to do it. I'm good. Don't just let me hide out until, you know, because I don't want those problems. You know what I mean? I'm first to tell them I'm broke. They're like, no, you're not. Yes, I am. I'm broke, baby. Yeah, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. I'm broke. I'm broke, honey. I ain't got no money. I done gave all the love away I was going to give away. love I was gonna give away, I gave it away. I don't have no more love. Ain't got no more love. Ain't got no more love, ladies. It's all gone. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Woo! Get women to get you, man. I ain't got no more. Planet Fitness has free weights. Yeah. They have free weight bench press. I was like, what? You can get swole in Planet Fitness now. I was like, let me go over here and get some of this bench press. See if the old man still see if the old man still got it. I surely did. So let me get some of this. I said, let me get some of this. My most played song is an instrumental. Yeah. My most played song is an instrumental on TikTok that people like use the sound to. You know, they can use your sound. Put it. Nobody has used that. I thought that was going to be a hit. I thought Put It in the Pot was going to be a hit. No one has used it. My most played song is the one that goes dun 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 dun. As soon as I play it, I'll get a copyright strike on myself. Dun 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 dun. You know, I made that song with a your mom like what? Oh, the song I'm talking about. Big ups to your mom. Big up. My mom. Oh my God. Everyone likes that song. I made that song on an old iPad. Oh, your mom likes Put It in the Pot. You know, that was only one take. I didn't write the words. I did that with one take. I just made it up. I made the beat up and I made the song up in the same day. I just was messing around. Mama in the kitchen better put it in the pot. Just, oh my God, I was just messing around. It should have, but it didn't. I was like, why nobody know? Oh my goodness. Nobody likes Put It in the Pot. That's my crank. That is my crank, man. Like, how nobody like my crank, man? That is my jam. Did you put it on TikTok? Yes, it's on TikTok. Yeah, all of that's on TikTok. If I copyright it, it's on TikTok. I copyright through CD Baby. So it's on TikTok. So I'm like, why is nobody using this? Like it's everywhere. I mean, Spotify, you know, you can pick those songs up. They're everywhere. Those songs are everywhere. I'm looking for the one song that people like so much. I made that back in 2009. But you know who likes it the most? The Middle East. The guys that be, you know, worshiping cows, they love that song. And I have no idea why. Like, they love that song. I'm like, you guys like this? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just making this stuff up, and you guys like this. That's why I tell people, man, just do something. Because you never know who's going to like what. I don't even know what it's called. It's called, I forgot the dang name of the song. I forgot the damn name. You can tell I'm getting old. I forgot the damn name of the song of the name song. I've got the song named it. Damn, dang on it. I can talk like that now. I'm the goddamn, you know, Sam, son of a gun, eating potatoes. Like you sound old. I am. Dang it. Oh, maybe it's on here. No, this is my other album. No, it's on here. No, there goes just right there. For say, no, this is my other. This music I haven't released. A bunch of stuff I haven't released. I don't know what this is. Just right there. Down, 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 down. There it is. There it is. What song they like the most? Grew Up? No. I'm Still Cool Alone. Movie. I'm hungry. Police Show. No, they like Police Show too. Slow is the name of it. This song. It's the crank to them. Middle Easterners love this song right here because they use it on their TikToks. I don't know why they like it so much. Maybe because it's Arabian or something. I have no idea why, but they love this song. I made this with an iPad, an old one, like iPad 2. There it comes. That's what they like right there. That's what they like. That little piano part right there. They love that, man. They love that part right there, bro. Hey, what's going on, young man? They love that part, bro. I do not know why. I don't know why I put it in the pot. Didn't I thought put it in the pot was gonna be. I'll just put it in the pot. I did that with one take. Bo 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 bo. The beat was so hard I had to. How's math going? My mathematical genius brother from another mother. Mama in the kitchen better put it in the pot. Boom, boom, boom. Where is put it in the pot? I want to play it. Mama good looking better put it in the pot. I need to make a video and put it in the pot. Maybe that'll do it. Got to put it in. Dum, 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 dum. You know, somebody heard put it in the pot was just like, hey man, I want you to make music for me. I couldn't make the music you wanted though. What's going on? Yo, Tone, what's the topic? We were talking about the book of Acts, chapter 26 through 28, and now we're just talking about music. Ah, here it is. For those of you in Texas, Mama don't cook it, better put it in the pot. Come on. Mama good looking, better put it in the pot. Okay. Mama got a turkey legs, better put it in the pot. All right. Mama got a chicken leg, better put it in the pot. Okay. Come on, got to put it in the pot. Yeah. Better put it in the pot. Come on. Mama got the collard greens, about to put it in the pot. Mama got the steamed rice, about to put it in the pot for sure. Mama sure good looking, about to put it in the pot. Okay. Mama sure do the cooking, about to put it in the pot. All right. I made it about 6 years ago, messing around online, talking to people online. Man, we are still going to the moon. That is a definite. They just had a splashdown, didn't they? Didn't something came back? What was it that went up there? Went somewhere and came back. We are definitely going, brother. You tell me when the train's leaving. I'll be there. Shoot. You got the chance to go to the moon, brother, go. Yeah, I may put it in a pot with one take. And it was so much fun. It came out just right. I didn't have to retake it. I have a bunch of projects that I started and I never finished. Because my money started getting low. I've been scrambling ever since, trying to figure out how to, not get my money to get low, and all that worrying hits you. Once all those worryings get you, you're just like, what do I do here? What do I do? I had a plan, but that plan fell through. Plans fell through. Oh, baby. I made that for somebody and they didn't like it. That song cold, ain't it? Smooth as heck. They did not like it. I was like, how do you not like this? Smooth as that is. Not what they wanted. Can't be mad about that, but that I really like that. I had a bunch of stuff I haven't put out. What happened with cooking tutorial? You promised Big Time A. Once again, once my money started getting a little tight, that's what happened. I was always looking for the lights before they came on. Mama told me to make it home. Mama always told me what was right, but I listened wrong. Made it hard to get along, but I for the lights before they came on. Mama told me to make it home. Yep. Bohemian Rhapsody. I can't play Bohemian Rhapsody. I get copyright strikes all over the place. Yeah, but that was my little rock tune I wrote. I didn't do nothing with it. I didn't do nothing with it. I just wrote it. You know. Sometimes that's all I do is I'll write it, produce it. You know, and if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I won't do nothing with it. I'll put this song out. Even if I don't try, I still do things that come out just fine sometimes. So I thought I would ask you all today then. What's the worst that could happen? You can tell me no, tell me go away. That'll be just fine. At least I try. At least I try to make things up as I went along. And I love play along. I try to make things up as I go along. Your love will play along. No one is perfection. No one is perfection. But no one likes rejection. I figure I'm not your cup of tea. You're another one for me. So it's another chance for something new. I think I'll buy some new shoes and go on down to the nearest spot and talk to a friend of mine where we make things up as I go along. And the love will play along. I make things up as I go along. Yeah, love will play along. Yeah. Should've turned left at the right, looking line. Spin around to the right 3 times. Stop, look the other way. Figure out something to say. Make things up as I go along. Love will come along. Make things up as I go along. I put this one out on CD. Love will come along. It's on TikTok. It's on TikTok. Should've turned left at the right line. It's on TikTok. Emma, I put Emma out. Yeah, it's on TikTok. I need to write some more songs. Yeah, but this is out. Emma X. Okay. So I put stuff out, you guys. You know, I write little corny songs and put them out. But the songs aren't what hits, it's the instrumentals people like so much. It's like, you know, you spend all that time writing. People are like, we don't care. We want to hear it. You know, I sent this one young lady was asking me about my music, and I sent her a bunch a bunch of instrumentals in some songs. She was like, I want to hear more songs. I was like, you know what? Let me write some more songs. But people want to hear those instrumentals, man. They want to take them and use them. I'm like, I'm a little confused. I don't know what y'all want from me. Y'all, so strange. Even when the thunders and rain, no one ever hears you complain. How do you do? You told me okay. Why is it you always okay? Why are you happy? I wanna be happy like you. If it is okay, everybody has a bad day, but I get them all. But you have a cure. Why is it you're always okay? Why is it you're always okay? I wanna be happy. I wanna be happy like you. I wanna be happy like you. How do you do it when the rain won't stop? What do you do when the pain won't stop? I wanna know, where do you go to feel happy again? Am I supposed to go to bed this way? When I wake up the very next day, nothing changes. It's the same thing all over again. Am I on so brave? Why you always walking in the rain? Saying to yourself, the sun's gonna come out today. That's what you do when the rain won't stop. That's what you do when the pain won't stop. That's how you deal when you feel it'll start all over again. Sit in the rain till the very last drop, singing away all the pain that you got. If it's okay with you, can I sit down? I wanna be strange. Am I young? Yeah. If it's okay. No, I know why you act this way. All you needed was a little company in the rain. That's what you do when the pain don't stop. That's what you do when the rain don't stop. That's what you do when you know it'll start all over again. Sit in the rain till the very last drop, singing away all the pain that you got. It's okay, we're okay. We can be strange, we can be strange. So strange. Yeah, little Emma. You guys are probably way too young to remember this song. It was a song called Luca. And it was made by, I forgot who wrote Luca. But it was, My Name is Luca. Susan Vega? Nah, I think she did. I live on the second floor. I live upstairs from you. Yes, I think I've seen you here before. You with something late at night. Some kind of trouble, some kind of fight. Just don't ask me what it was. What year was I born? I was born in 1967. Just don't ask me what it was. Yeah, it was a song about a woman getting beat up. Emma is kind of like that song. But when I pictured Emma, I just pictured her always sitting downstairs in an apartment building outside on a stoop crying. So I usually have a picture in my head. And that's how I usually write the song. Yes, I'm old. I'm very old. I still bench press 225 twice. Huh? I can still crunch 225. Oh, I was curling 60s a couple days ago. 60 pounders. Curling them 60s, rocking them. I'm not too fast, but I'm strong. Yeah, I'm not gonna beat you in a race, but I ain't no pushover in an elevator. $190, my max. Five. That's not bad for 190. I mean, for 5'11", 160 pounds. Yeah, you're not a big guy. Hell, I seen a guy your size. Actually, he was shorter than you. This guy was doing military press with 100 pounds in each hand. Four sets of 12. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's good lifting. That's good lifting. At what, 30? Yeah. 30, 33. Yeah, that's good lifting. Try that in another 30 years. Come see me at age 58. You'll be like, oh, my back hurt, my toe hurt, my ankle this. Boy, I'm trying to tell you. Come see me then. That's good lifting, man. Curling 50s is a good weight. Because most things around your house, you can move with ease if you're curling 50s. Really. I mean, 100 pounds? What's in your house that's over 100 pounds that you can't push? Your refrigerator, you can push your refrigerator. The couch, you can push the couch. You know what I'm saying? If you need to pick those things up, two of you, boom, 200 pounds, boom, you got it. That's why 50 is a good weight. Four sets of, I don't do any pull-ups. 60 pounds straight. Look at you. You run sub 21 5K. Yeah, I tried, but you have excellent strength for your age. Yeah. Well, I have a house full of, heavy stuff. Nobody helps me move it. No one. When I get it in the house, I get it out the house, it's all me. Put it on the truck, take it to whoever's house. I'm usually the one that has to get it in the house. It's all me. Sometimes it's just, whew, the big old KitchenAids. Ooh. I don't even want to look at them. That's me just now getting back into it. Shoot, give me about a good month. Give me about a good month. Going about 3-4 days a week. Yeah, I have some other good news. I mean, me too, but a certain extent, you know what I mean? You got them bless your neck. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, I sold one of these today on eBay. Sold it. Sold it. $30. Pretty cool, huh? Waited a long time to sell that damn thing. I forgot it was there. Heck yeah, cha-chingy. 30 beanos. I was like, wait, what? Somebody bought it? I was like, somebody bought it? It's like, yeah, somebody bought it. Paid for it outright on eBay. I was like, let's go, eBay. I shipped that thing out as soon as I found it. I had to look all over for it. This little thing right here. Well, one just like it, but it was brown for an LG refrigerator. I had to look all over the place for it. And I was looking in that room. I was looking in my other room. Turn around. It was right there. It was right over there. So I have a bunch of stuff laying there. It was right in there. I was like, dude. Okay, definitely Middle Eastern. Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. Qatar up in the house. Hey, you know what? I might put this out just to see if they like it. Yeah, I bet they like this. I mean, I already know they like my other one. It sounds Middle Eastern, and they're eating that one up. You know. I like it. Ooh, this is clean, ain't it? Oh, I'm gonna make it more Middle Eastern. Everybody dance. Let me get a little neck thing going on. I don't know what they be doing, but they be getting it. You like getting Middle Easterners? Middle Eastern it up. Maybe like. I gotta get something that they're Asians, aren't they? Let's see. This sounds like more East Asian. I don't know. West Asian, I don't know. But they are considered Asians, aren't they? Well, they're closer to Asia than we are. Oh, ain't it? Decent, isn't it? What I would do with that? Dun, dun, dun. My mathematical brother from another mother. I know. I want this to be higher though. Find the right. See what these rhythmatics are different, man. Yeah, that doesn't. I want to try to. That would kind of work. This sound right here. These rhythms are hard to put in there. You gotta put it in. All right. Might be it for right now, unless I got some strings that want to cooperate. Don't forget the save button, brother. I know, man. I know. How's the white girl doing? Is she like Oh, you don't have the white girl problem, do you? You're not the one with the white girl problem. You're the one with the you're the 34-year-old. Yeah, you're not you. That's the other guy. Yeah, you're the 33-year-old. Who ain't thinking about no woman. I don't want you, Mary. I don't know, man. Family and kids. A family would be hard now. The economy just sucks. You know what I'm saying? Here's what I think you should do. I think you should count your money. That's what I think you should do. I think as a 33-year-old, here's what you should do. You should count your money. You should look at your investments. You can, and then you could, then you should, and then you should look at your job seriously. I don't mean just go into work and pal around. I mean, really look at your job and think, how much longer can I do this? Like how much, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was saying this too, I read, here you go. Don't blow me up, I read. Don't blow me up, Rose. Come on, Rose, don't do it. Yeah, bro, that's what I would do if I was you. I would look at my job seriously and go, I read, don't blow me up. No, I would count my money. I would go, how much do I have saved? And then I would look at things financially and go, can I afford a family? That's what I would do. How long am I going to be at this job? What else can I do to get a second income? What if this job, goes to pot? Iran, don't blow me up. You know, stuff like that. I would start looking at stuff like that. Then I would, how hard would it be to get another job doing what you do? That's what I would do if I were you. You know, you can only jerk off in front of a computer for so long before you're like, I need a woman. That's the truth. You can only fantasize about a woman for so long before you're like, it's unfulfilling for me to just wake up with a Woodrow Wilson and not, be able to make babies. You're lifting, you're running, you got good money, you got a car, you got a domicile, you got a place to kick your feet up and watch the game. But if you're sitting there, with a Woody Woodpecker every 5 minutes, you better get yourself a woman. But if you're not, if you're okay, you know what I'm saying, and you're doing just fine, then don't do it. I'm the youngest out of six. All of my siblings are in their 40s, and I in her 50s, and one in her 50s. They also ask me about girls. They mean well, but it makes me feel. Nah, don't feel behind. Don't ever do that. Shoot, I got two of my siblings been married. No one is married now. They all have children. Three of my siblings been married. They're all divorced. Don't feel behind, brother. It ain't for everybody. One of my siblings, we warned him, don't marry that girl. He didn't listen. Married her anyway. And I know why he married her. Because she was cute as a Dickens. She's a pretty girl. She's young. She was like, young. I was like, bro, don't marry that girl. I took a look at her. I was like, don't marry her. He didn't want to listen. He was like, I'm about to get with this right here. I'm like, bro, I get it. And this is my older brother I'm talking about. I was like, I get it. But how old is she? And he told me how old she was. I was like, don't marry her. And what happened? She cheated on him with somebody in her age group. And that was it. They have 2 children now. You're in the military, though. You for your place. and you for your place, and you got your side hustle. You basically flipping and fixing appliances. Yeah. So you got hobbies and a side hustle. It's inspiring. Yeah, but my side hustle comes and goes. That's why I don't go out and just spend a bunch of money. I calculate what I do. I'm very mature about my money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I might buy a bag of Twizzlers randomly every now and then. I ain't gonna say that I'm a stranger to Amazon either, but all the stuff I buy on Amazon I need. When I have a need for tools and stuff like that, I go right to Amazon and get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I get good deals that way. All my parts are bought off of Amazon. You know, I buy offline and I sell online. So yeah, I have like I don't have to deal with the public like you do. But I tell anybody to get a side hustle. Just get especially if it's online. As I have more than one side hustle. But they don't, my other side hustles, they don't like they're not gonna pay my rent. My appliances don't even pay my rent. Like I used to hit it that hard. I used to go hard in the paint where my appliances would pay. Hell, it bought me that truck that's sitting outside. But nowadays it's so slow, the economy sucks. See, like what I did today. I went and I took care of all my business around town. And then I was driving by Lowe's. I went in there and they're like, hey, what do you guys do with your appliances? And as I was standing there looking at a Hisense refrigerator, the appliance guy walked up to me and what's going on? He says, I think you should buy it. I was like, no, I wouldn't buy this. He's like, why not? I was like, because this is a Hisense refrigerator. And then me and him got into this long conversation. And, he's basically asking me about different. Now, mind you, he works at Lowe's in the appliance section. And I'm telling him stuff that he doesn't know. He's like, you really know your stuff? I was like, yeah, I wouldn't buy this refrigerator. He's like, what would you buy? I was like, I'd buy this one. This is a GE. It's the best domestic refrigerator that's out there. And then I told him the rankings from bad to worst, meaning what I fixed the most and least. So we ended up exchanging numbers, and he's like, I'm going to keep you busy. Because if you're willing to go to somebody's house and remove their stuff and blah, 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 I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. They have to pay me. He's like, yeah, people need the refrigerators fixed and they come to me all the time, but I don't fix refrigerators. I was like, listen, I don't remove no metal. Like I'm not gonna, weld anything, but I'll tell you what's wrong with the refrigerator, and if I can fix it, I will. And I said I charge about $80 to, make a house call, not unless they're far away. No, the economy's not good. But when the economy picks back up, all these appliances will go flying out the window. It'll come to a point where I'll be searching for appliances. All of them, they'll all kick rocks. And it'll be all in one wave. Boom. I'll be busy for about 3 weeks and that'll be it. Then I'll have to go and search for appliances. That's the annoying part. When you're going online and you're buying them from people and you have to go way out to their house, that's when it really starts costing you because the amount that you're flipping it for. Okay, let's just put it to you like this. If you're flipping an appliance for $150, you got to look at how much it costs in gas, how much it costs if you need a tool to fix it, which I think I got all my bases covered in tools, but you never know. It's the life of tools, you know. But you got to look at 20 bucks in gas. That's automatic for me. Then I look at whatever part it is. So I'm looking at $50 no matter what, whatever part it is. I already, boom, that's $70. I'm trying to flip this for 150 bucks. I might have to put maybe an hour into it to fix whatever it is. I don't even count the cost of that, but still. Now, if I can spend $70 and put together a really good, washing machine, especially if it's a glass top, and I can sell that glass top for last glass top I sold was $225 plus delivery. No, $199 plus delivery. So I made like $250 off of it. Then I took her old one, and I have the old one now. So glass tops sell for more. What I'm saying is, when I look at the cost to repair it, and exactly what it is, what year it is, what size it is, what brand it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know if it's a really nice LG, especially if it's a glass top, I sold one of those for $255. That thing was worth way more than that, but I wanted to get rid of it. It was beautiful though. You know, a really nice Samsung glass top, lights up real nice. If you get one of those going, you only spend like 50, $60 fixing it. Somebody will pay you $250 for it. You know what I'm saying? So I used to target, those glass tops because I got an apartment full of ones that are just, regular solid tops. They don't sell as fast. They don't. The glass tops would sell faster, especially the large capacities. So it's all about what you're putting your money into, you know. You got to know your market, and I just happen to know a bit about the seller's market. On that, it's the aftermarket sales is what I know about. The regular market sales, I go into stores all the time and I look and I walk back into the appliances, and that's what I'm looking for. How much does this cost in the store? How much it costs in this? Yeah, how much does it cost for a scratch and dent? See, this way I can walk into, a conversation and know my stuff because I'm at the ground. I'm at the ground level. I'm at the level where you're throwing it actually uh, into the compactor. Like, I'm at that level. Like, I know how much you're going to get for a refrigerator that's a you know, two-door bottom freezer. I know what you're going to get at the junkyard for it. You're going to get $15 and some change. Like, I know this. I know how much you're going to get for a stove. You're going to get, if you got an LG stove, you know what I'm saying? Glass top, not coil top, glass top, you're going to get $8 for that. Like, I'm at that level. And I've worked my way up. So I can just look at a product and go, what do I want to do with this? If it's a coil top stove, GE, I know I can get 175 to 275 for that GE because it's a GE. LG, something different. LG refrigerator, you know what I'm saying? LGs are nice, but they're not reliable. Now, if you want to get something that's more reliable, you're going to go with a GE. But if you're looking at an LG, you're looking at a Samsung, that's a little bit more reliable than the LG. But the Heising is a cheap knockoff of Whirlpool. Whirlpool, KitchenAid are both the same thing. Amana, GE, same thing. I can use the transmissions from both of those. Same thing. No, you don't. Yeah. So I mean, it all depends on what you're looking for. But if you have something like a Whirlpool Gold 3-door, Whirlpool Gold, $500. You can sell it. If it's a newer one, most of the time, what's going wrong with it is this: one of these popped, a thermostat or a start relay. Once you go digging around in there and finding out exactly what's going on, and you're going to find out your parts are not going to cost you much. Finding out is what costs, because hell, you have to pay $200 for somebody to come out and figure out what's wrong with it. But me, I take my time. I got a Samsung that I got. It'll come on, but that's all it will do. It won't fire up. Well, that's not true. The compressor will come on, the fan will come on, and the start relay will come on. So, well, if the start relay comes on, the compressor usually comes on. Usually, not unless the compressor's bad. But the compressor comes on, start relay comes on, fan comes on, but I haven't tested it at all. I have to get down. I have to get down on my hands and knees to where the compressor is. I have to measure what exactly the pressure is doing. So for one, I have to measure how much electricity is going into it. So there should be 125 going into it, between 120 to 125, somewhere around there, maybe 128. But it should have at least 120. Boom. Once I see it has 120, now I have to see if the compressor itself, I have to check the amps on the compressor. And once I check that, make sure the amps are up to snuff, I know the compressor's doing what it's supposed to. Because some of them are run, but they're not running correctly. Then I have to measure the gas that's coming out of it. So that's where I have to start, because I looked at everything else, and I looked at I listened to the compressor switch. I looked at the PVC board. I looked at the main board. I mean, I looked at all the stuff, but now I got to get into it. I got to dig deep. I got to find out exactly why this isn't performing. Like I said, I think it has a leak in it, which could be good or bad. Because if the leak is like obvious somewhere, that means I can fix it. Boom, there it is. But if the leak is where I can't get to it easily, readily accessible, then it's a loss for me. Then I have to take the parts out and sell the parts. But that's how I know so much about these things, because I take them apart. I get them home and I just take it apart. I strip them. And I start looking for common problems. And then I go on YouTube and I listen to guys who've been doing it longer than me. And then they go, this is doing this is doing that. Then I whip out the schematics. And the schematics, I didn't usually read them that much, but now the schematics, I can see why they're so essential. But if I can get the schematics of something, and sometimes the schematics are actually on they're on the back of a Samsung. On the back of it, there'll be schematics and information there. So when you're working with a Samsung refrigerator, especially if it's a side-by-side or a 4x4, a 4-door or a 3-door, which is like this, and the bottom pulls like that, a lot of that information is on the back. But if you haven't studied any of it, it's going to look like dashes and dots to you. But the refrigerator is actually saying something. You have to program in the front of it. You have to push a couple buttons to make it do certain things. And once you run those systems and it's not performing in some kind of way, then that's how you can tell what it's doing, what it's not doing. You have to push these buttons and these buttons. You're just like, but it took me a long time to figure that stuff out. And now I can just go in there and go, boop, push a couple buttons and then listen to it. Okay, I want to operate the fan. Boom. I want to operate both fans, up and down. Boom. I want to operate just the compressor. Boom. I want to operate the defroster. Boom. If you can do all those things, you did your you did your due diligence. That's why you're able to. Yeah, I've been at it for a while. You just gotta like it's a learning. I mean, I could have went to school and probably done this in 6 months. I mean, yeah, but the experience I have, none of those guys in class has the experience I have. All the places that I've been, all the people that I've met, you can't get that in the classroom. From the dirtiest, junkiest house with animal crap all over the place to the super nice house. You can't. You got to understand when you show up at somebody's house, you're the resident expert. They're looking at you to solve their problems. I don't care if they're an engineer. I don't care if they're a rocket scientist. If they got, and I've ran into some very smart people, some doctors, very smart people, all kinds, don't know nothing about appliances. People work for the state and all this stuff. They have no idea. They're like, yeah, my refrigerator's bad. And I'm just like, okay, let me look at it. One lady was like, my washing machine needs a new this, that, and the third. I was like, let me look at it. I went over there and looked at what brand it was, put my hand in it, did a couple of things. I said, that's not what it needs. Your washing machine needs this. It's going to cost you this much. You can get it here. Boom. And I like the fact that I know, and I love the fact that I'm learning because, or not washing machine. Yeah, washing is a washing machine. But like, I don't know all of it. You know what I'm saying? And when I see guys who know stuff that I don't know online, I'm just like all into it. Like, wow, this guy is going to change the interface and he's going to, change the PCB board and he's going to rearrange a PCB board. He's going to make this go from 600R to 134R gas. He's got to change the motherboard to make sure that it can read the new compressor that's coming in because he's putting a 134 in a 600. And I'm just fascinated by that. I'm just like, wow, I didn't know you could do that. But yeah, and the guy's talking and, he's like, I'm going to take all this out. And blah, blah. I'm just fascinated how this guy knew he could do this to a refrigerator, but he did it. He did it. He put in a different, he just changed the schematics of a refrigerator just right there, just to be doing it. He's like, this is all going to change. Put in a different board in the back, put in a different compressor, and fired that thing up, and it was bam. I'm like, that's the kind of knowledge that I want. I want to be that guy that can just boom. And you can't get that in a classroom. It just doesn't work. Yeah, it just doesn't work. Side note. You ever thought about why we have to be going through these times like other times before us didn't go through this? Why us? I know God doesn't make mistakes. Just curious. When didn't we go through stuff like this? I've been on this planet for almost 60 years. We've been at war since I've been here. We've been at war since I've been on this planet. So when What are you talking about? You know, one thing that hasn't happened since I've been here? America has never been threatened. Now America's being threatened. America's never been threatened since I've been here. Not with something that could actually happen. Now Iran has ballistic missiles. They can hit us. But if they do, we're going to turn it into a powder keg. If Iran sends one ballistic missile over here, they won't be sending any more. I don't care how deep they have dug underground, they will not come up from under there. Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. The women are lost, man. Women are lost. They got full of themselves. They thought they could do a lot of things without men, and a lot of them are coming to the staunch reality that you can't you're not gonna do anything without us. You're gonna involve us some kind of way. You're gonna want you're gonna want us in there somewhere. Even if it's just for, you need to get your rocks off. That's why you got a lot of gay women that cheat on their wives with men. They do. They cheat on their wives with men. It's like, why are y'all married and then coming over here? Why? Why are you gay? Yeah, why are you gay? Why are you gay and coming over here? Yeah, why are you gay? Why are you gay? And then floundering over here to get some, Woody Woodpecker. Why are you gay? Why are you even gay? I knew some chicks, they lived together. And that's what they were muff divers. But you better believe they love themselves some men. Love some men. But they lived together. They were munching on each other. It's just like, listen, that's only gonna go so far, ladies. You gonna wanna and that's exactly what they did. There's always gonna be one that's gonna break away, like, you know what? You know what, Elizabeth? I'm a yeah, I'm gonna go ahead on over to Jonathan's house, and I'm gonna let him wear me wear me like a cheap suit, like You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let him do whatever in the fracks in the bog he wants to do, and you just that's why a lot of them they beat each other up. The domestic violence between women is off the chain. I mean, they're crazy. They're crazy jealous of each other. It's just like you women are some psycho chicks. I mean, boy, they beat each other up. And I don't care how much money you got. You got two chicks who are dating each other, there's gonna be a fight. There's gonna be a fight. They're gonna be talking about each other's cunts. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. There ain't nothing you can do about it. Because they're gonna be talking about all chick stuff, and you're gonna be like sitting there going, I don't even know what to say. But yeah, that's the story. Yes, very jealous. Bro, they're just jealous. They're just some jealous. The level of jealous in women is borderline sadistic. They are sadistic, bro. They are sadistic. You'd be like, what is wrong with this chick? Then they want you to guess what's wrong with them. And when you don't do it, you're not a good person. It's just like, I'm not. They want to do all this. And you're like, what's wrong with you? Wow. Now that you asked. It's like, get out the car. Okay, get out the car. Let's talk outside. Oh, why are you kicking me? Just get out the car. I'm going to pull over. We're going to both get out. Get out. She gets out. You floor it. Because she's going to do that to you for the rest of your life. She's going to hold the coochie from you just to be doing it. She's just going to wake up one day and you don't get no coochie for about 2 months. 2, 3 months, 2, 3 years. She's just going to, no. As soon as you put that ring on your finger, no. Well, I feel like you're just using me you're my wife. I'm using you for your organ that's between your legs. You're my wife. That's exactly why I married you. When I put the ring on and I knelt down and put it on your finger, I was looking at the part that I wanted, and it wasn't your hand. Okay, now we got that all out of your system. What are we doing? Because if you're gonna hold it back from me, then guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna take the ring off of your finger and I'm gonna go find somebody else to put it on. That's what's gonna happen. So let me know what we're doing now. Because I'm not doing the cold bedroom thing. Let me know right now today. Well, you got 5 seconds to make up your mind. 3, 2, don't treat me like a goodbye. And just start making your way right out of her life. She's going to make it hard, but you don't care because she's just going to play you for the rest of your life, and you're just not with that. Look, I'm 45. I don't have time for this. You're either going to give me some of your nut. Why do you have to? Goodbye. As soon as she starts up with the manipulate, goodbye. I'm not listening to it. I've done that already. I've been patient. I've been nice. There's no winning with you. You're cheating on me. That's what it is. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. I got to go through all this to get something from my wife. You're cheating on me. No, I just got some blah, 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 whatever's wrong with my coochie. I don't want to hear it. You're cheating on me. Yeah, you're cheating on me. And I'm leaving. Don't leave me. Go and screw the mailman or whoever that you're banging, because it ain't me. If she's not banging her husband, she's banging somebody. She's not banging her husband, she's banging somebody. Everybody's gone? Well, that's cool. Oh, it says 0. Yeah, as soon as they try that coochie jail with you, I'm leaving. I'm not doing it. As soon as they put you in pussy jail, it's over. It's over. Just go ahead and be like, all right. Okay. As soon as they put you in coochie jail, it is lights out. Do you see yourself in a relationship? Not really. I mean, some woman may want to, make me a ham sandwich every now and then. I'll eat it. I just don't have no patience for weirdos. And I don't want to be put into those situations where I got to fight over some fighting over you. Not like that. Especially if it's a problem that you already had. I'm not doing it. Oh, y'all been together? Y'all was together before me? And you was just over his house yesterday? That's it for me. That's all I need to know. I was just over here talking. I don't need to know anything else. I don't need to know anything else. You was over his house. Y'all used to bang. Y'all still banging. I'm letting that go. I've been that way. Yeah, because they'll keep you around, and then they'll bring some terrible guy in their life and he will do the most heinous things to them. Slap them up, beat them, slap their daughter, call them all kind of names, and they will love that man. I've seen it happen. I'm just like, you think I'm gonna? No, I'm a nice guy. That's the reason why you keep coming around me, because but when you want to get dogged out, you go over there and let them slap you and call your daughter names. You out your damn mind. I'm not dealing with that. And now he's in jail, and you want to support him while he's in jail? You out of your damn mind. figure. They do. I'm just not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it. Let them go, man. Find somebody else. Somebody else is good out there. There's a good girl out there somewhere. Somewhere. There's like a good girl out there. Like she's like super good. Like there's a good girl out there. Super good. Somewhere out there. I appreciate it though. Just a streamer I came across, but you got substance. Talent and it's because I'm old. I don't have no business lying to you. Yeah, I don't got no business lying to you. ceasefire that's not a ceasefire. Trying to find a base I like. Yeah, they call it a ceasefire, but it's not a ceasefire because only so many people are agreeing with it. Hezbollah and Israel are like, we're not ceasefire, we're going to kill each other. That's what they're going to do. They're going to kill each other until everyone's dead. That's all they know. Yeah, they're still firing rockets at each other. It's madness. Madness. Yeah, they're just going to keep going at it, man. The Strait of Hormuz is closed again. There's only been like 8 ships that's passed through it. And they're paying $1 million each ship to pass through it. Countries are like, we can't afford $1 million a ship. They were charging $2 million. So that's not going to last not sustainable. The amount of ships that go through the strait, there's no way.